I really hope you enjoy today's video. It is just a bunch of things that we have to do in spring, which is what happens this time of year. It's starting to get to the crazy stage. And we got those DIY dollar store stackable planters put up and planted out. And I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. Well, our first stop was to the Hawthorne Gardens so that we could purchase some things that we needed for projects. We also used it as a fact-finding mission for things to purchase in the future. Al's working on a project in the backyard in a forgotten area, trying to bring it back to life, and is looking at some bushes and things, other ideas. And I was particularly interested in the things in the greenhouse for pots. I found some beautiful coleus, multiple types that I probably will be using because they do well in sort of a dapple shady area. All in all, it was a wonderful trip. We were there for about 2 hours. We enjoyed visiting with the owner and found out that he's actually related to the Hackers, which was the garden center that we discovered in the last video. Also had some opportunities to look at some new trellising for the yard, so it was a great trip. The priority garden job was to get potatoes in. They've been chitting away and are ready for planting. It was a crazy day. The wind was howling through the yard, and we'd have periods of sunshine and then wind and bluster. But we got the jobs done, and it was actually a great day to work other than the wind. We're doing Kennebec and Adirondack Blue. I watched lots of videos on how to do this. I hope I picked the best way to do it. I chose pots, and I'm finally sieving that soil so that all of the chunks are out of it. And I used the most popular amendments that people suggested, all in hopes that we will get a good first-time harvest of potatoes. It's actually quite exciting for us to try something new. Next project was to get this 3-tier planter back in order. Last year it was filled with tuberous begonias and a variegated vine. Nothing came back in the planter, but underneath the deck, the vine had rooted itself and returned. So we dug that up and put it in the planters that were cleaned up and filled with some fresh compost, and they sulked for a while, but they're great, and I'll add the tuberous begonias that are sprouting in the house just as soon as the weather's good. Here's a zero cost project. These were left over from last year, the trailing sedum, with some purple annual salvia seedlings coming, all cleaned up and put into rattan containers. They'll spill over and be gorgeous in just a matter of 4 weeks. Cost nothing. Well, another blustery day, and the winds were stupid high with off and on rain again, but had to go out to pick some greens because they are now bolting with this back and forth weather. Spinach, arugula, mustard. Those mustard greens are definitely pushing up flowers now. And the overwintered kale is flowering as well. But all of these greens are still very delicious, and very happy to have them now all up in the pantry to eat for the next handful of days. Well, it's time to take this drop over greenhouse cover off. The 10-day forecast looks good. We will leave the frame in place just in case the weather should turn back, but these are cold hardy crops. It's beets and radishes and lettuce and carrots, and they can take a bit of a chill. Now that the lid's off, I'm going to take the opportunity to thin these bolero carrots. So I am doing potting up today. It's been very difficult actually. I just bring out one little tray at a time to do because it's been very windy, very gusty. But right now it's rather calm, so I'm going to try to get a little filming in. Right now I'm doing some Dr. White Cheese Yellow and some Berries Crazy Cherries, for example. I want one of each of the 12 types of tomatoes that I have grown. The rest are going to go to friends, neighbors, and the Door County Seed Library up in Wisconsin for their giveaway. Because I'm going to be giving them away, I'm using up anything I have in the house that I don't really care about. These were just some cups. Well, there are my Dr. White Cheese Yellow and Berries Crazy Cherry all potted up, and they'll be romping away fast now. Well, it is the spring seedling shuffle. We're all doing it. These had their first overnight last night outside, and everybody did well. So they are ready to be planted out anytime. As you can see, I grow in all kinds of containers, commercially produced containers, toilet rolls, kefir containers. Some of those are from my winter sowing. And everything is doing well. A lot of these will go into the DIY stackable planters that we're going to be putting together shortly. Oh boy, look at those sweet pea. They just want to go in the ground bad. We'll get you there, all in due time. There's some thyme that I bought at the store. Out front, we also took the things that have overwintered in the garage out for a little sun. Now I'm putting together 3 containers for my sister and brother-in-law in the city for their balcony, some fresh herbs and added marigolds for a little color so they can just step out and enjoy a little fresh yummy. I think they turned out cute. Well, it was on to planting out some herbs, cilantro and dill. I had done these in winter sowing kefir yogurt jugs, and I will probably leave them in these clumps, enjoy them for a bit, and then let them go to seed to save. Then I went on to plant my lettuce, Paris Island Coss, red romaine, and Marvel of 4 Seasons. After that, I planted out my Walla Walla sweet onions. I'm doing these for the first time. And then my Patterson onions. These were the ones I did for the first time last year, which had excellent long storage. Leeks came up next, and what I'm doing for a while is just nurserying them in the garden, letting them put on some size. Hopefully they'll be almost pencil thickness, and I'll plant them out individually. Check out Al's shirt. Anybody remember this show? Comment below if you do. We are on to the DIY Dollar Tree Stackable Planter units that we made. We did 2 of them. The cost was $20 each all in. We used electrical conduit in order to secure it into the earth and make it stable, to hold it up off of the earth. We used a piece from the plumbing department, 6 inches, fit perfectly into the bottom of that unit from the Dollar Tree. Now, one caution is, in order to make sure that these are absolutely perfect from the get-go, because when I was editing this video, I noticed that the bottom one was askew. So in order to fix that, we did have to take off all 9 units, and get that secured again. No big deal, but just an FYI. It was much easier to fill them with soil before we put them on the pole. At least that's what we found. All in all, I think that these have a much higher end look than you would imagine. No one has to know that it came from the Dollar Tree. It looks like a much more expensive unit than that. And quality-wise, well, it's not awesome, but it is good, and it will last us for a few years. We won't leave it out in our Chicagoland winters, of course. But I'm pleased with the outcome. I really am. Now I'm planting this up with some marigolds, a combination of some that I purchased and some that I grew. I'm going to plant out the top with some peas. My favorite pea type is the Tom Thumb, and I've done them here in root trainers. I love these root trainers for peas and beans. It's great. All those plants that need that extra growing space. But these Tom Thumbs get to be about 12 inches tall, and they come off early before our Chicagoland season gets too warm for peas. So I thought it would be perfect in these towers and well up high from the bunnies, who just love them as a buffet favorite. Now, next, down below these peas, I'm going to put in some red sun shallots. I also have some of those shallots in my big beds as well. I'm quite excited to try those. People tell me that they are lovely. And so far they have grown like champions quick from sets. So I'm very pleased. And hopefully the taste is as good as people have recommended. Now we're on to the second tower planting out. Here's some Marvel of Four Seasons lettuce that I'm putting in. And as you can see, it was a very windy day with very, very strong gusts of wind, and these towers did not move at all. I think it's a testament to, that electrical conduit holding it stable into the earth. So there's some parsley, some snapdragons, some marigolds, and I'm just pleased. Overall, you can see it has a much higher end look than you would imagine something that was purchased at the Dollar Tree having. If you'd like to see how we built these, I'll link the video that shows it at the end. So it's after 6 in the evening. We have put in a long, hard day's work, and we have earned the dinner that's coming and the hot shower. Remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now, and we'll see you on the next one.